This guitar right here is in drop E right now. I wanted to try it out because people were asking me to do drop E. I never written anything in drop E. There you go, that's drop E for you right there. There you go. A lot of people were asking about drop E on a 29-inch SWOLA guitar. There it is. I've never written anything in drop E, but there it is. That's that's whatever it came to be. Ola gentcore, progressive, modern metal, something. What's up, everyone, and welcome to Sunday with Ola87. Are you guys doing okay? No? Well, I'm here to cheer you up. You know, it's not easy being out there in the world right now. Just saying. Let's focus on some positivity today, okay? Thank you. We're gonna head straight into the news today because there's a lot of shit that has happened. So let's go. First piece of news is that Ozzy Osbourne on streaming royalties. Spotify is a fucking joke. Ozzy Osbourne has shared his very blunt opinion on the service. Spotify is a fucking joke. The royalty aspect of making music has gone right down the toilet, which is fair considering the amount of money and time it costs to make music versus the financial output. And this is coming from Ozzy Osbourne, whose top 10 songs on Spotify have between 30 million and 438 million plays. Elsewhere in the interview, Osbourne also laments the overall situation for young musicians. It's a completely different world now, he said. Before, you could do gigs and get spotted. Now, you buy a book on how to be a rock star, read it, and go from there. If I knew it would be that easy just to buy a book, I would read way more books. Just saying. I mean, Ozzy has been part of the music industry for a very, very long time. So, you know, I think he has a valid reason to be able to comment on streaming services and Spotify today. Saying that it's a fucking joke, I can understand where he's coming from, because he's coming from the era where, you know, they made a shit ton of money being rock stars, and, you know, the labels would just pour out money over the bands. I understand. I mean, he's probably not seeing as much revenue today, but then again, he's probably making a shit ton of money out of many other things. So in his case, I don't think it's a problem that Spotify is paying very little per stream or play for him. But at the same time, as always, and as I'm always advocating for, you know, the future of music, is that there's so many other ways to promote your music today. And there's just, you know, it's just easier today, man. Just like he said, you can just buy a book now on how to be a rock star, and that's it, baby. That's it. That's all you have to do, shit. Right, Five Finger Death Punch vocalist got shot in the eye with a laser. Now has an eye patch. Oh my, this is actually not a laughing matter. You don't want to be shot in the eye with a laser. Unfortunately suffered an injury to his left eye thanks to an on-stage laser. Okay, so I thought at first this was like someone in the audience, you know, pointing a laser gun or, you know, one of these laser pointers in his eye. That's not okay. That sucks ass. This was from an on-stage laser. According to Moody in a video posted to his Instagram, he nearly passed out on stage during the band's May 19 appearance at Welcome to Rockville. It was way too hot, and upon returning to the stage after being helped by his team, he got blasted in the face by a laser that kicked backwards. Moody added that he can't currently see out of his eye and will need to wear eye patch on stage. Holy shit, that sucks major balls. That's a really unfortunate event for the singer of Five Finger Death Punch right there, and very important news. Why am I laughing? It's not a laughing matter. So I feel like I have to talk about Jen Majura and her leaving Evanescence. I know as we're doing this and it's Sunday, I know that Jen is sitting in here watching this, and I just want to pour out our support from the bottom of our hearts and from the community. We all love you, Jen. We support you. You're gonna be fine. You're gonna find a kick-ass band very soon, and you're gonna slay audiences everywhere. So it wasn't Jen's decision to leave Evanescence. I have no hard feelings against anybody, and I wish Evanescence all the best. Absolutely terrible news, and I was really looking forward of meeting Jen in June when Evanescence were rolling through Sweden. However, I will officially right now invite you, Jen, come here to the studio. Let's make a couple of videos. Conclusion, Jen, we love you. Always end with a thumbs up. That's positivity right there. Okay, I learned a trick. Someone told me this in the latest Son with Ola, that I should open an incognito window and I would be able to read the Guitar World magazine articles. That's not illegal, is it? It's just another way of watching Guitar World, I guess. So, Stephen Carpenter pulls out of Deftones' upcoming international tour dates. With everything going on in the world, I'm just not ready to leave home and leave the country yet, the guitarist says. I've seen on other websites that people are citing or assuming that it's because Stephen is an anti-vaccinator. In some extent, I can understand what he's saying with this, what's happening with the world and home and leave the country just yet. You know, it's weird times right now. At the same rate for me, man, like NAMM is happening soon. And with the current events, you know, I decided not to go to NAMM. I just don't feel it's right now to leave my country and leave my kids and my family to go across the world to go do some other things. You know, it's just my personal worriness. You know, and I think Stephen has the same type of worriness right there. That's okay to have. I mean, it's okay to be worried about the state of the world today. And you know, not that I'm afraid. It's just that, you know, I think it's unnecessary for me to go to NAMM, for instance, this time, and then I'll just go next year when things have calmed down. How about that? So I understand what Stephen is saying right here. Just a little support for Stephen Carpenter of the Deftones. What the f is this? The best? No. Kurt Cobain Smells Like Teen Spirit Fender Mustang sells at auction for $4.5 million. Jesus Christ, man. Holy shit. The winning bid from Indianapolis Colts owner Jim Irsay makes the iconic Offset the second most expensive guitar sold at auction, overtaking David Gilmour's Black Strat. Holy shit, man. $4.5 million. But it's really cool that it sparked so much money on an auction because, I mean, Nirvana, man. Iconic band. Kurt Cobain. Iconic band. Kurt Cobain. He's such an iconic band. No. Obviously, iconic singer and guitar player. Man, I'm struggling today. All right, so something I observed. Okay, let's call it observe. Is that if you follow the Dimebag Daryl Instagram feed, you might have seen this little video last week of the new tour bus. And this is a tour bus that Rita has. I think I saw it in the yard when I was visiting Dimebag's house. It's the one and the same bus that they've been using for the past. You know, for the past 10 or 20 years, I think, where they just stripe up the bus in cool graphics and whatnot, and they made this really cool Dimebag one right here, sporting Dimebag hardware logo and all that, but also very interesting. Oh, I can't rewind. Okay, we have to watch it from the start. Okay, see if I can pause this at the right moment right here. Okay? Very cool. Dimebag's face. That's fucking great. All right. It says Dime Guitars on here. Did you ever think that this might be Dimebag's new brand? Or, you know, the estate of Dimebag's new guitar brand, Dime Guitars. It has to make sense, man. Why would they put it on the bus like this among, you know, the Dime hardware and all of the other brands that they're doing, DimebagDaryl.com, they're putting Dime Guitars on there. That means that we're probably getting something soon, man. Just saying. What will it be? We don't know. We just have... That jib is janking a little bit, just saying. Obviously, I'm very, very excited about Dime Guitars. And in my opinion, that was the only way for them to continue the Dimebag legacy. If it wasn't with Dean, if it wasn't with Washburn, it had to be through his own brand. Dime Guitars, it makes a lot of sense. Okay, cool, huh? Rob Scallon has announced his new Schecter signature guitars. Look at this.
And then by extension,
multi-scale, 6, 7, and 8.
And why I designed them this way.
String guitars.
I'm so proud of these in their
plus lefties, okay. So previously, Rob was with Chapman Guitars, now he's with Schecter, and he has these new signature guitars. Let me check the available now, okay. Okay, for the 8-string, also it's $1,600, okay, I understand. Hip shot bridge, what pickups are those? Ooh, Schecter Diamond, 78 Special Rob Scallon. So okay, something Rob Scallon, Schecter collab happening. 27-inch to 25.5 scale on the multi-scale right there. That looks cool, man. Congratulations to Rob Scallon. He has a signature guitar with Schecter. Last but not least, it's time for a Vinnie Paul estate auction. Decades of personal memorabilia, including early day Pantera Damageplan and Hell Yeah collectibles. With nearly 700 auction lots, the online auction features a collection that spans 4 decades of mementos from Paul's years with Pantera Damageplan and Hell Yeah. And this is really exciting. You can get like a fucking drum kit from this auction. Also, you can get some platinum albums, and obviously on the top of the lot, a Washburn D3 made in the US that was gifted from Dimebag to Vinnie Paul. It's listed with a starting bid of 10 grand, which I think makes a lot of sense. I mean, this comes straight from the source right here. It comes from Vinnie Paul. And there's some, look at this, you can get like this cool fucking lighted sign, some backstage passes and whatnot. It's a really cool auction. You know, it makes me really emotional. It's just like when you see the list of stuff that are getting sold on this auction, it just becomes so real that these guys are gone. I just wish that all of these things that are on this auction goes to the right people so they can carry on the life of Vinnie Paul and Dimebag. I mean, it's cool to let people have a piece of history, but you know, wouldn't it be cool if all of this was in a museum or something like that? Does someone want to start a museum with me? I'm in the worst place possible for Dimebag and Vinnie Paul Museum in Sweden, but you know, one can always dream, right? And that, my friends, was the news. Guitar of the Week, a series part of Sunday with Ola, where I take out some of the guitars that is not necessarily getting that much love. Now, this guitar was a Christmas gift to myself a couple of years back. I bought it from Thomann, and it's they just had it in stock, and I was like, I always wanted one of these. What, you know, it's time, man. I'm gonna give myself a Christmas gift, and here it is. It's the Dimebolt. Can you smell that? Smell that.
Smells like a Dimebolt, yeah.
It smells new. No, it smells new and nice. It's this Dimebolt, 40 out of 100. Right there. It also comes with a certificate that is signed by Vinnie Paul in 2015. And I remember this because I got this guitar, I think it was like half a year after Vinnie Paul's passing, and I wasn't ready. And I didn't know that it was signed by Vinnie Paul. So when I discovered that in my video, yeah, I got really emotional because obviously it's fucking Vinnie Paul, man. And I don't know, just felt weird. Why am I'm not gonna put it back. I'm gonna remove the case. That's what's gonna happen. So there it is. Bill Oren's 500 XL right there. Seymour Duncan 59. You have the tape as well. The tape is because of you know, the string not getting stuck underneath the pickup edges right there. So that was one of the things that Grady did for Dimebag. So you can see that a lot of his guitars that they could get stuck underneath the pickup frame right there. So they taped it all over. Speed knobs right there. Look at that. That's something that Grady did too for the guitars. And Dean from Hell.
And traditionally you do that with like a soldering iron, right?
Yes, you just put a soldering iron straight into that thing just to get a better grip. And obviously this is the USA made version of, or replica of, Dimebag's Dean from Hell guitar. Obviously his Dean from Hell guitar that I've also tried over at Dimebag's house is way more run down than this one. This is completely new. I mean, there's not a scratch on it. Yeah, man, it's cool. Top mounted Floyd, as you can see, no cavity which is something I learned is something that D in the USA are doing. Not used to that. I used to watch the Washburn Dimebags that have a recessed bridge, you know. It just brings you closer to the body. And it's actually in tune. It's been in its case for a while. Has a slight little V-shaped neck. It's really hard to film, but it has a slight little edge right here, which is also something that were pretty common on Dimebag guitars. So yeah, man, I'm a fan of that V-shape right there. It's pretty cool. You feel it like this and be like, huh, how am I supposed to play this? But when you're playing it, it makes sense, man. It makes sense. So there it is, 40 out of 100. There's a Dimebag signature right there. It's a printed one, so it's not its real signature, obviously. But this is for real right there, 40 out of 100. Made in the US of A. Look at that. Classic dime bolt graphic right there. How cool is that? And that, my friends, was Guitar of the Week. I'll put a link in the description to the video where I purchased this originally. It's cool. It's a cool watch, man. So I'll put a link up here. You can go check it out. Thank you. All right, so usually I do album tips, but sometimes I also do YouTuber tips. And I want to do a shout out today to a YouTuber in the metal guitar aspect called LAMBCHOPPER678. I think I've talked about him before in an FAQ or something like that, but I want to give a shout out to this guy. He's an amazing YouTuber, shares a shit ton of knowledge, and he also shares a lot of videos of how you would get a certain type of tone, like Metallica or Lamb of God, through like a Marshall DSL, or, you know, it's really informative videos where he just shares all the knowledge on how to get from point A to B, and it's just a really good channel. And he put out a video last week about taking a break. In his case, he has a daytime job, he has family, and then he basically goes on about the struggle of, you know, keeping the inspiration going and just keeping the momentum of running a YouTube channel while you have a regular day job and all. And I was watching this video and I felt so recognized in what he was saying. Obviously, you know, at my point where I'm at, YouTube is my day job, so it's a different phase. But back in the day when I was working a regular day job and I had YouTube, there was just some weeks and months where you felt like, oh shit, it's really a struggle, because obviously the only time you have to make YouTube videos is on your spare time. But at the same time, you also want to do, you know, you want to take care of your family and be with your family and do whatever things you love. And I just, you know, I feel so much for this guy right here. So I wanted to give a shout out to him. You guys go subscribe to his channel, show your support and love. He said he's taking a break, but I really hope that he gets back at it, because his videos are really f***ing good. So go support him, okay? Thank you. So that, my friends, was Sunday with Ola for you right there. Hope you enjoyed it. And also, Sunday with Ola Contenders live stream tomorrow on my second channel, okay? We go and watch the SWOLA86 Contenders then. It's a good hang, man. You should go there. Also, if you want to support me and what I'm doing, you can go to olanglundshop.com, get some merch, make the people outside the store work a little bit. Also, I get to work a little bit as well. So, you know, it's for a good cause. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.